Our question tonight will be, will the Mount Notre Dame Cougars be making their 4th trip back to the Final Four in a row? Or will the Mason Comets be making their first trip since 2018? That question and more will be answered here tonight at Lakota West High School as the regional Division I regional finals between the Mount Notre Dame Cougars and the Mason Comets. Hello, I'm Bill Bretson. Joining me is Glenn Olson. And Glenn, this Mount Notre Dame team, they won 98 in a row, 8 straight championships. I mean, they're by far the best team in Ohio now. Can they be the best team ever? I don't know. And who can beat them?
Bill, they've got a very good case to make that distinction. The win streak in Ohio is 108 by West Holmes back in the mid-'80s. And you have to think if Mount Notre Dame prevails with another state championship, it's very likely they're going to break that streak next year.
Right. So, I don't know. Both teams have 2 great players. And they will be going on next year to the ACC. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But, you know, for Mason, you've got Kayla Oldacre. For Mount Notre Dame, KK Bransford.
Yeah, KK Bransford, one of 24 national players chosen for the McDonald's All-American game in Chicago. Of course, Kyla Oldacre, one of the other ones here from the Cincinnati area, as well as Chance Gray, who you got to see the other night from the Wentwoods Warriors. So some very good women's basketball players, to say the very least, right here in Southwest Ohio.
All right, the Mason Comets are the home team just because of the brackets. Hang on a second here. We're adjusting our. All right, we're adjusting our microphones here a little bit. Mason Comets are the home team, 25-2. Rob Mantulan, his 17th season. Amanda Barnes will be starting for them. Maddie Parrish, Joy Redzik, Gabby Rosano, and as Glenn said, Kayla Oldacre, 6'6" senior. They're the starters for the Mason Comets. Mount Notre Dame Cougars, coached by Scott Rogers, 26-0, 98 in a row. They will be starting Abby Walterman. She is a senior. Krista Lacrosse, a senior. KK Bradsford, a senior. Taylor Stanley, a junior. And Keisha Francisco, a junior. So those are your starters here tonight. Our officials tonight, Ron Baird Jr., Chris Dodd, Kent Saunders. And of course, we have almost a sellout crowd here, almost 2,000 in this gym here today for this game. So it should be a good one, Glenn.
Yeah, very exciting. A trip to the state semifinals on the line, as you said at the top of our show. The state championship games are going to be held at the University of Dayton Arena this year. So instead of going to Columbus, just an hour or so up the road to UD.
Right. Interesting. The last 5 times these 2 teams have played have all been in the postseason. Mason has won 3 of those 5, including the last time they met, March 7, 2018. Mason won 53-32, and that was their last trip to the state Final Four. So we'll see if the Comets will get back to the state Final Four, or Mount Notre Dame, who probably just makes the same reservations year after year up there in Dayton, will get back to the Final Four again.
Well, both student sections are packed, Bill. There's a lot of fans, friends, family loaded in here, a lot of the local media present. This is the place to be in Southwest Ohio tonight.
The 244s, Francisco and Oldacre, do the tip, and ball was out of bounds, and it's going to go to Mount Notre Dame. As we see Abby Waterman into Taylor Stanley. Francisco takes a 3-pointer from the baseline, misses everything. Rebounded by Mason, that's Parrish. The Oldacre basket. And it's the Comets that strike first on a breakaway.
That's the threat that Oldacre gives you. She can go up high in those passing lanes, get the ball away from the defense.
Just like you saw right there.
Boy, Mason is coming out just full of fire tonight, Bill.
Joy Ridzik broke that up. And I tell you what, Scott, we've only played 34 seconds, And Scott Rogers wants to talk this over already. Interesting.
We're definitely seeing something he wants to make an adjustment at here in the first 34 seconds of this ball game.
So Mason,
right now, Mason definitely bringing more intensity on the floor than Mount Notre Dame, it looks to me, Bill.
Right. And he's going to change it. But, you know, we've said this time and time again, this Mount Notre Dame team will lure you into thinking, hey, I could beat you, we can stay even with you. Example the other night with Princeton, tied at 15-15. They shot off 14 straight points to close out the half at 29-15, and it was really over with by that time.
Mount Notre Dame in a straight stack across the floor. Guess you could call it a horizontal stack to inbound the ball there.
KK Bradsford's out top of the key, directing traffic now over on the side. She's looking into Waterman. Waterman tried to look back to KK. There's KK again, and she's fouled.
Whoa.
That's a reach-in foul on number 11, Amanda Barnes.
We're going to be here a while if that's the way these refs are going to call this game, Bill.
Yeah, Mason Faithful did not like that. Not a shooting foul. Stanley triggering in now. Crystal across around to Waterman. Waterman cross court to Stanley. Stanley's taken away by 22, Joy Rezek. Rezek turnaround underneath and great. What a play for Joy Rezek. She hesitated and wait. It worked. Comets up 4-0.
Taylor Stanley with an uncharacteristic turnover on that last Mount Notre Dame possession. Mason able to take full advantage, obviously.
Bradsford looking at Waterman. That's broken up. Third steal of the game. Parrish. Oh, there's Roy Rezek. Oh, basket was no good by Rosano. KK Bradsford back the other direction. Splits the defenders. Got to her first basket.
She went straight at Kayla Oldacre with the underhanded scoop shot. Able to get a kiss off the glass, get the Cougars' first points.
Oldacre. Oldacre turns. Takes baseline and in. Her second basket.
Not a whole lot you can do when the offensive player is 6'6".
No.
Just going to have to try to deny the ball from her on these future possessions, which is obviously easier said than done, Bill.
Right. Waterman over to Francisco. Into water for Francisco and Waterman, and has broken up underneath.
She's slow to get up.
Waterman, and yeah. She's limping down the floor. Let's see if the officials call time. It's out of bounds, though. I'm not sure if they're seeing right now that Abby Waterman is, now she's coming out of the game. Lily Harrison back in the game, or in the game for Mount Notre Dame, and that would be a big blow for the Cougars to lose Abby Waterman, second leading scorer on the team.
Yeah, KK and Abby, the 1-2 punch for these Cougars, and you said it best, Bill. Big loss if she's not able to come back, but hopefully she's able to walk that off, maybe get some tape on that ankle and get back out.
Broken up again by Mason. Rosano to Parrish. She's at the end of the bench now talking to the trainer. In the paint. Up too hard off the backboard for Oldacre. Bradsford with the rebound.
A little bit of a hard shot. Bransford was there to defend it.
And she's on the floor, and they're going to say it's a foul on KK. KK picks up her first foul. First one on Mount Notre Dame.
Venture to say it's a very partial Mason crowd tonight, Bill. We're on the Mason side from our broadcast position.
Well, we're in a GMC gym, so they could get a little bit of a home advantage of that. Oldacre looking in, knocked out of bounds. She's looking for Barnes.
Yeah, she tried to force that one a little bit. Comets going to line up in that horizontal stack also. Now the move.
3-point attempt. Off the rim.
Well, that was
Oldacre with the rebound, puts it back in and in. Rosano couldn't get it from the three, but there's Oldacre underneath.
Oldacre was 6 of the Comets' 8 so far.
And that is knocked out of bounds. Amanda Barnes just picked up her second foul.
Early foul trouble for the Comets, but they're, as you see, Comets forced to be very aggressive against this Cougar offense. But as we know, Mason has a pretty deep bench.
5'9", Becca Saunders now in the ball game for the first time for the Comets. Barnes takes a seat on the bench.
And Mount Notre Dame's just not able to get the look they want on offense right now. Doing a good job of moving the ball around the perimeter, but trying to get something in the paint hasn't been great for them so far until that.
Taylor Stanley, her first basket, she averages 8.5 a game. 8-4. Oldacre, turn around, getting hounded in there, and she's fouled.
Wow.
Looks like Crystal Lacrosse picks up the foul.
Yeah, it's they're calling this game very tight, Bill.
And it's interesting. I think you regional finals, you probably let them play, but we'll see what happens. Still early in the game. And that ball is thrown out of bounds. Turnover on the Comets.
Well, as the saying goes, however you call it, tight or loose, just stay consistent throughout the game.
3:39 to go. Couple substitutes coming in here. Francisco back in the game for the Mount Notre Dame. Harrison takes a seat on the bench. I did not see the Mason player. We'll pick him up here in a second.
Comets appear to be in a 3-2.
Shot is taken off the rim. Battle underneath. Francisco puts it in. Keisha Francisco, 7.1 to game. She gets her first basket. 3-point ball game.
Francisco was such a key player in our game last Saturday that we covered.
She was a perfect example of how you lull a team to sleep and she gets 3 straight threes. They go up by 9 points. And was basically over with at that point in the game. Oldacre. Up and in. Taylor Oldacre's having quite a game so far, 8 points.
The middle and right player in that zone collapsed onto Oldacre, and she still was able to bully her way through and get that shot up.
Stanley reverses direction now, comes back to Francisco. Crystal Lacrosse kicked out of bounds by Oldacre.
Somebody in the student section might have had a wake-up call there with that ball coming off of Oldacre's foot.
KK is going to trigger it in for the Cougars. Oh, into Stanley, all alone in the paint, got it. Oh, nice inbound.
Can't leave Stanley uncovered like that.
You take those little 5-footers every day.
Absolutely.
10-8. Comets have never trailed in this game so far. Oldacre.
Travel.
Nah, she traveled.
Yep, she jumped up with the ball and back down. Pretty easy call.
And Cisco's on the floor applauding. She got knocked down, but nevertheless, now the Cougars have a chance to tie or maybe take a 1-point lead. We'll see what happens.
Comets settling into a 2-3.
Three-point attempt, and drills it. That is Stanley. How about Stanley, 7 points? Cougars' first lead of the game. Parrish gonna go the other direction.
Good
runs
defense.
Into Broughton. Oh, that steal.
Tried to force that one.
This is gonna be easy. Mandy Parrish, easy basket for her, her first basket. She averages 11-1 a game.
Now Notre Dame's going to have to be a little more patient with the ball. This Mason defense is aggressive. They can't force passes leading to turnovers.
KJ Bradford, that was short and that was altered by Oldacre. Francisco just throws it up. And another just thrown up shot. And we have a foul. It could have been a possession, but let's see what they call it. They call it on Bailey Broughton. That's her first foul, the team's third. Scott Rogers not too happy about that one. That could have probably been called a possession, but
yeah, it was definitely a physical tie-up, that's for sure.
Brandon Johnson, number 3, is in for Mason. Didn't call her name, she's a junior. Parrish holding the ball right now. We got 45 seconds to go. I don't imagine they would be going for the last shot, but who knows? So far, she's not challenged.
Well, she'd probably invite the challenge in.
3-point up and in, off the backboard by Johnson. She called that there, Glenn, off the backboard. 15-11, 4-point lead now for the Comets. Stanley, she's been hot. Off the rim, no good. And Francisco picks up her first foul. And that's the 4th on the Cougars. Not a shooting foul, 12.3 seconds ago. Mason would love to get on that board one more time here. Oaker doesn't seem to be in a very big hurry. Now she's going. Oaker, with 3.9 seconds to go, Oaker permits a charging foul. That is big right there, Glenn.
Just a great job by KK Bransford to get her feet set. That was a no-brainer call.
So now Mount Notre Dame's got 3.9 seconds. KK Bransford launches it. And out of bounds, hits the cameraman out of bounds. We go to the end of the first quarter with the Mason Comets up 15-11 over the Mount Notre Dame Cougars. Now Mount Notre Dame, let's talk how these two teams got here. Mason beat Wentwood 60-43. They come up 16-3. The Comets led the Warriors after the first quarter. They played mostly even the rest of the way out. Shot 52% from the floor, 40% from the three-point line. Oldacre had 17. Maddie Parrish had 19. Oldacre had 17 rebounds. Chance Gray closes out her high school career at Wentwoods. We talked about her earlier, Glenn, being an All-American. She had 27 points, but no other Warriors was in single digits, or double digits. They shot only 26% from the overall, 18% from three-point. Mount Notre Dame Princeton. Mount Notre Dame won that game 62-50. That sounds like it's a fairly close game, but they were up by about 20 through most of the second half there. Broke open a close game, as we said, in the second quarter. Shot 66% from the three-point arc, 4 for 6. You know, just to show you, Glenn, what they can do, Crystal Lacrosse is an 18% foul or a three-point shooter. At the end of that half, she launched one from about 5 feet behind the arc, went in, and that was really the dagger right there, I think, in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Big momentum shift.
KK had 25 points, 15 rebounds. Bill Bress, Glenn Olson, glad you joined us here for this regional final. Winner goes to the state champion, state final 4.
Wow, great save by Stanley.
Yeah, on the floor.
I was expecting a timeout, and she had the thought to kick it out quickly to an open teammate. It's worked out well, right back to it in her hands.
KK all into Brett Bailey Broughton, and Broughton has her first basket. 2-point lead now for the Comets. KK averages 5 assists a game. She can score, but she's not afraid to give it up and have other teammates score. That's a true champion right there.
Great battle, Francisco and Oldacre. Very physical. Down
the 244s. Oldacre forces it up, and she is fouled, and I think it's going to be on Francisco. It is. That'll be Keisha's second foul. She's going to come out of the game. First time somebody at the foul line here tonight. 44% foul shooter is Kayla Olaker. She's got that line drive. I think you were mentioning last week, Glenn, how she doesn't even bounce the basketball. Just takes it, throws it up there.
Absolutely.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
Right, works for her.
She's in double figures now. Back to a 4-point lead for the Comets.
Mason sticking with that 2-3 so far.
Now
widened it out a little bit.
With Francisco not in that game, Glenn, it's going to be interesting to see who can do what with Olaker underneath.
Got to imagine we're going to see a little more Bransford, maybe a little more Harrison on her.
Well, they're going to try to maybe as much as they can keep it out of her hands.
Right.
Bradsford looking, she travels.
Wow. She just had nowhere to go with the ball. Great job by Oldacre. And Rezick, excuse me. KK's nowhere to go, or Staley nowhere to go with the ball.
Well, press there by the Comets and still pressing.
Speaking of pressure. Guessing they're going to get Broughton
call on Broughton. Yep. Bailey Broughton now picked up her second foul, so that's. And Kaylee Bradsford, younger sister of KK, is in the game. She's a freshman. So two Bradsfords in the game right now.
16 fouls right now for the Cougars.
Which means the Comets will be shooting next time. And great defensive work there by Amanda Barnes, who's back in the game with 2 fouls and forced a turnover. She did not. Sorry. Stanley, lacrosse, in and out. Rebound, and we got a possession call. It's going to stay down at Mount Notre Dame in.
Wondering how long the officials were going to let him go before calling that tie-up.
KK trying to get the ball inbound, does. Long three-pointer by Lacrosse off the backboard. Here's Oldacre.
Nice job of Mason breaking the press here.
Parrish looking underneath to Rezick and back to Oldacre. Oldacre says, I'll just take it myself from the baseline.
Not too many players that KK Bransford has trouble stopping. Kyle Oldacre at 6'6".
Yeah, without Francisco in there right now, it's going to be some difficult times here. They don't keep the ball out of the hands of Oldacre. Oldacre reaches in, but Stanley recovers.
Nice recovery by the Cougars there to maintain possession.
They're down 6. That's the most Mason has led in this game. Harrison kicks it back out. Lacrosse, 3-point. Got it.
Great play.
Krista Lacrosse, her first points. As I said, only about an 18% three-point shoot. You wouldn't tell it there. Stanley with the steal. Harrison. Off of Kaylee's foot. Kaylee Bradsford.
Turnover fest down there, right in front of the Cougars' basket. And just like that, the Comets back on offense.
Oldacre, now there's Bradford. Steals it away. Oldacre gets it back though. Oldacre, scoop shot. My gosh, Glenn, how can you stop that?
You can't stop her. You can only hope to contain her. And with 14 points so far, Mount Notre Dame not doing a great job of slowing down the Miami of Florida commit.
Across, Bradsford. Stanley into Bradsford. Bradsford, she's looking underneath to Harrison. Harrison loses out of bounds. You mentioned that she's going to Miami in the ACC. Of course, KK Bradsford has committed to Notre Dame. She's taking the Mount off and going to Notre Dame. Interesting enough, those two teams played today. with Miami winning by 3 points.
ACC women's tournament action.
They will be seeing each other in the ACC next year.
Being McDonald's All-Americans, I imagine they'll be getting some playing time early.
KK Bradford looking, triple team, throws the ball out of bounds off of Mount Notre Dame. Wow.
Hey, that's what it takes to slow down Oldacre. Putting 3 players on her, then that's what you have to do, right?
Well, Keisha Francisco's back in the ball game too. Playing in there with 2 fouls here with 3:36 to go.
Francisco, a tough defensive player. They need her back in there to try to slow down Oldacre. Made her life a little more difficult there. She didn't get the bounce off the rim and back to the free throw line.
But unfortunately, Keisha Francisco picks up her 3rd foul. Scott Rogers going to now be forced to take her out, probably for the rest of the quarter. Or maybe a little bit of a risk bringing her in.
A rare miss from Oldacre. Haven't seen her miss too many in this tournament, Bill.
No. Well, she made that one. She had a boatload in the game we had last week where she scored 27 points.
Right.
Equaling her season high, which she's done twice this year. 6-point lead for the Comets.
Mount Notre Dame needs to try to take advantage of this zone and get some perimeter shooting in. Try to avoid going up against Oldacre in front of the rim. There it is.
KK off the rim, battle underneath. Who gets it? Parrish.
Parrish gets it, not Oldacre.
Oh, KK Bradford got in her way, broke it up. KK trying to scoop it up.
No foul.
No foul, and Oldacre gets a rebound. Out to Parrish. Parrish jump shot. No good. Rebounded back in by Barnes. Amanda Barnes, her first points in the game. 8-point lead again now. KK Bradford underneath with the hook shot. She got it and she's fouled. And the foul's on Barnes. That's her 3rd foul. So after just scoring her first basket, Amanda Barnes is going to be coming out of the game.
Makes you wonder what the strategy is going to be with your enforcers in foul trouble. How do you change defensively?
Becca Sanders back in the ball game.
Just 4 points in the game for Bransford thus far. That tells you what kind of defensive struggle.
71% foul shooter. Off the rim. You know, fact about KK, she's only been in single digits 3 times in her career. Twice in her freshman season, once earlier against Ursuline this year. 3 times in 4 years. That's not bad. All-time leading scorer for Mount Notre Dame. Shot up and off the rim. No good. Across at the rebound. Stanley. Looks like they're in that zone again, that 2-3 zone.
Yeah, they've pretty much stayed in that, even though Oldacre's going to come up and challenge.
Well, I think what they're going to do, they're going to tell Mount Dame, hey, you can shoot the 3-pointers. We'll let you go out there. But so far, they've only made 1.
So you start making a bunch of them, they'll let them be, right?
Right. Long 3-point shot, misses everything. I don't know what Parrish was thinking out there.
Everything looked good except the end result there. Clean look, high arcing shot, but off the mark.
Well, it's one of those things where it didn't go in and it looks bad, but if it went in, this Mason Franz will be going nuts because they've been up by 9.
I don't think either student section has sat down this entire game. Boy, Mason just so good at taking away these passing lanes, and that's given the Cougars fits. Actually, this Cougar offense predicated on lots of ball movement, lots of passes.
In the paint, and that is good. Harrison with her first basket.
Under a minute to go now.
4-point lead. Another three-point attempt. Oh, second one that she has thrown off. That's Johnson off the backboard.
I thought it was going to hit back iron, but she got a lucky bounce.
KK in the paint, rolls off. Battle. Harrison.
Got to get through that double team.
And Harrison is fouled, reach-in foul. Looks like they're going to call it on Maddie Parrish. That'll be Maddie's first foul. That's only the 5th one for the Comets. 21 seconds to go. 25 seconds, I'm sorry. Looks like the Cougars now going to play for one.
And that'll get the Mason fans going. Mason came up, tried to attack there. Good job getting back on defense, though.
Crystal Lacrosse, no good. Lacrosse again, off the backboard, no good. Put back up by Bradford, and that's it. We go to the halftime. Mason Comets are up by 7, 27-20. I don't know about you, Glenn, but I'm not sure if I want to be in that Mount Notre Dame locker room right now. There might be a little talk going on there. He's going to get those, try and get them fired up, see if they can get out of here with a win, but so far Mason's on top.
Very uncharacteristic deficit at halftime for the Cougars, but all the credit goes to Mason. They came out, got momentum on their side early, and have maintained it. Mount Notre Dame just has not been able to get the shots they want offensively, and they're not getting the second chance shots to fall in either. See what Dr. Scott Rogers does with his halftime adjustments.
All right, Rob Montula, you just tell the girls keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. Stay out of foul trouble.
All right, Glenn and I will be back for second half action. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Any outdoor.
Sitting on the bench, obviously not.
Your house a reality. Homeschooling yourself on loans, color-coding listings, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. If you can ace house hunting, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
That leaves us with the next item on our agenda is item number 5, opening session.
I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. If you're out here at the parade or listening, thank you again.
Into the end zone, and that is caught by Jaden Wood.
Come on now, how we doing? Y'all feeling all right out there?
Hello and welcome to this edition of This is Glendale. I'm Bet Chorus.
Hey guys, this is the Unit 1 crew from Woodlawn Fire Department. We just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And of course, you can always go to ICRC-TV.com.
Always a great day when ICRC is involved.
Another edition of ICRC, bringing the community to you.
a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
On air or online. This is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
There's no better feeling than to be a part of a fire department. This is a family.
Police officer, it's a great job. It really is. You never know what you're going to get. You never know who you're going to help.
We're forgetting what's going on outside. We're focusing on what's going on in here, and we're all family.
This idea of a family academy, connecting families to talk about relevant issues.
Unbelievable. Milford has stormed all the way back in this football game.
The Warriors in the state finals! State finals! Ohio Wesleyan, here we go!
And it's up to every one of you all to keep this going and carry the torch. I hope you will do that. Thank you.
ICRC-TV.
All right, we're ready. Oh, okay, and we are back on the air here again at Lakota West High School here. Got kind of thrown off by our monitor here, but Bill Brett's Glenn Olson. And Glenn, let's look at the points here of the first half. No surprise why Mason's on top.
Yeah, Kayla Oldacre, just an incredible first half performance with 15 points, only 1 foul. And she's really been the key to this game. Not only is she scoring offensively, Mount Notre Dame has not been able to solve her defensively, to get around her and get good shots off, or to box her out to rebound. So she's really been the focal point of the game on both ends of the floor.
You look on the other side here, KK Brasford, she only has 4 points. We mentioned earlier, she's only had 3 games in her high school career that she's had single digits. One of them was earlier this season, the other 2 were in her freshman year, and so she's uncharacteristic with 4 points at halftime, although Taylor Stanley does have 7. She's leading scorer from Mount Notre Dame. Now, looking at Mount Notre Dame, what they have done, Glenn, they have gone to the state championship now, state Final Four 11 times. In their 11 trips, 8 state titles, 1 runner-up, 2 semifinals, and one of them you had to put an asterisk on that because that was the 2020 season, which the season ended in the state semifinals.
Right.
So, and Mason, the Comets have been there 5 times. They've had 1 state championship. They've been runner-up 3 times. The last time they were there in 2018, they lost to Bickerton Central in the state semifinals. Central went on and won the state championship. So, you know, Mason and, you know, they've been there before. They know what they're doing. Let's see what's going to happen in the second half because this is going to be critical. I think the first 2 or 3 minutes, Glenn, going to set the tone right now. Can the Cougars get back in this ball game, or can the Comets hold on now?
Yeah, and really curious to see if Keisha Francisco is going to come out on the floor to start the third quarter. She has 3 fouls, as we talked about in the first half, and only 2 points. Also keep an eye on Mason. Amanda Barnes, 3 fouls for her also.
Well, there's your answer right there as we see Kayla Harrison in the ball game. So Scott Rogers is going to keep Francisco on the bench, at least for the begin the second half. Mason with the ball.
And Barnes back out there. Despite those 3 fouls, she was the Mason player to lead the inbound play.
Mason a 7-point lead.
Well, the Cougars are trying to get 2 players on Oldacre when it makes sense.
And there is no basket.
I think it's going to be on.
They call it a Crystal Lacrosse, a foul. That's her second, team's first. Lacrosse coming out of the game. Kaylee Bransford back in. Comets triggering in underneath their basket. Lozano looking into Oldacre. Oldacre in the paint. Off the backboard. That was altered by Bradsford.
Bransford did a nice job defending her there. Straight up and down, body. Oldacre shows what she's capable of.
Scoop shot. Barnes just basically took it away from her. And blocked down the other side by Maddie Parrish. And Oldacre knocks it out of bounds. So settle down here. We played about a minute, no score in this third quarter.
Kind of a continuation of what we saw in the first half. A lot of passes being deflected because of the defensive pressure being applied by both teams. Mason just doing it a touch better thus far.
And that's stolen by Manny Parrish. Parrish the other direction. Easy basket. She's had 2 baskets so far, both of them on breakaways.
It's at least the second time we've seen that out of Parrish in this game. Well, she has 4 points, so that answers my question right there.
Yeah, largest lead for the Comets at 9. Broughton, Bransford into Broughton. Broughton was going to give it back to Bransford, but they broke it up. Out of bounds. Cougars ball.
Yeah, quick whistle on the tie-up there. We didn't see that in the first half.
Bradsford, scoop shot off the rim. Lozano with the rebound.
Guess that's what you got to do against Oldacre, but Bransford doesn't look terribly comfortable with that shot. She's not gotten a lot of them to fall, obviously. Just 4 points in the game.
Mason in no hurry right now with a 9-point lead. Parrish, 3-pointer, off the rim, no good. Nobody was under the basket, Glenn. That was interesting. Barnes came rushing in, but knocked the ball out of bounds. There was no players under the basket when she shot.
Well, you have to think it was a designed play to put that up, and to not have anybody rebounding there is pretty interesting.
Mason pulling back in that 2-3 zone. No pressure coming over the timeline for Stanley. Francisco back in the ball game. Francisco takes a three-point shot, no good. Broughton with the rebound. KK Bradford to Harrison. Back out to Stanley for three-pointer. Got it. Taylor Stanley in double figures now with 10.
Great sequence there for the Cougars. Good ball movement, a lot of cross-court ball movement. Stanley wide open and nailed it.
7-point lead now. Cougars in a man-to-man. Oldacre underneath, takes it in. Makes it look easy, Glenn.
Makes it look so easy, Bill.
Ball kicked out. It's kicked by a Mason player, so Taylor Stanley triggering in underneath the basket. Francisco. Bradford in the paint, little scoop, doesn't fall.
Just can't get that down.
You know, we saw them have trouble at the Bellbrook game last week underneath the basket. That was early in the game, they solved it. Now we're in the third quarter and having problems.
They're going to need to figure that out. As I said a moment ago, that's clearly the strategy to go against Oldacre. KK's just not been able to get those shots to fall.
Brandon Johnson in the game. She's had a couple of threes for Mason. Getting pressure now. Johnson looking underneath Lozano. Out of bounds by Harrison. Barnes triggering in. Looking, and knocked out of bounds. Good coverage by the Cougars.
Bransford was looking at the official, thinking maybe she had been fouled.
This time she gets it into Parrish. Oldacre scoops it underneath, double team. No good. Oldacre with the rebound and loses it out of bounds. And it's going to stay down the Mason side.
I'm surprised we didn't get a foul there. Oldacre was all over the back of Bransford.
Lozano right back into Barnes. Back to Parrish. That was broken up. Brittany Campbell in the game for Mount Notre Dame. Brittany's a 5'1" sophomore. Did a great job on defense on that. And now we have a foul coming up. Who they're going to call it on? It's Francisco. Scott Rogers not happy on that one as Keisha Francisco picks up her fourth foul.
A lot of ball game left to have her with 4 fouls, Bill.
Bailey Broughton back in the ball game. Now, I think Mason calls a timeout on that one. Well, the other thing is, we haven't talked about this in a while, Glenn, but Abby Waterman limped off the floor. We have not seen her back on the floor. And matter of fact, I'm not sure right now if I even see her on the bench down there.
Well, Scott Rogers having some words with the officials. One of his assistants trying to get him back into the huddle, but made his feelings pretty clearly known. And back to Walterman, yeah, as I said in the first half, she's part of that 1-2 punch with Bransford. And it's pretty obvious they're missing that connection on the floor right now.
So he's got 2 key players not in that game. Abby Waterman went out with an injury. Keisha Francisco on the bench with 4 fouls. Now Mount Notre Dame always has a deep bench, but Boyer's trying to really stretch it thin. Possession call, and it goes to Mount Notre Dame. Good job by Brittany Campbell, the sophomore. He's had a couple of good defensive plays now.
I think it goes without saying, Mount Notre Dame would really like to chip away at this 9-point deficit right now. They need some points in a pretty bad way.
Stanley's been the hot hand, and she's got it again. That's 13. That's what you need.
Back down to 6. That's exactly what the Cougars wanted. Let's see what they can do defensively here to try to keep momentum on their side.
You talked about leadership and senior leadership. On this Mason team, Oldacre is the only senior on the team. All the rest of them are underclassmen.
What a big presence.
Yes.
She is.
She's a huge presence, but boy, she's got a lot of players. Robin Chodel's got a lot of players coming back.
Well, you just don't see many 6'6" girls basketball players in high school.
Yep.
She's been able to take advantage, just be a dominant force for sure.
Comets with a turnover. Now we see Johnson now of the ball game. Bradford. Over to his sister Kaylee. She takes a 7-footer and off the rim. Wow, how many times has that happened with her tonight?
Well, I tell you, she's just been an unlucky shooter, I guess you could say today. Thought maybe that was going to be a foul on the Cougars.
Stanley, Bradford in the Stanley. Stanley now kicks it back out.
Stanley wants it back. She's hot. She wants to take that shot.
Bradford and blocked by Oldacre and touched out of bounds by the Cougars. So a block, and now they get the ball back. Wow.
Talk about the story of the game, right? Bransford just 4 points. And most of that is because of the job Oldacre has done defending her, and that was a perfect example right there.
Yeah.
Not Notre Dame wanted a foul, but I didn't see it.
No, I didn't either.
Well, the students wanted a foul. I should clarify that.
Parrish with the drive off the backboard and put back in by Oldacre with 19 points now. Back to an 8-point lead.
Stanley.
3-point, and that is good by Stanley. Boy, is she hot now. 3 of them in this quarter. Rob Matula is going to call timeout. Talk this one over with. Well, the Cougars won't go away.
I'll tell you, right now, Oldacre's going to guard Bransford, keep her from doing her thing, keep feeding Stanley. You know, we talked in the first half, shoot those 3-pointers until you start making them. Well, guess what? Stanley's making them. Mason's going to have to make an adjustment on her.
She's the only one who scored so far for them, although one of them is not a 3-pointer because there's only 28 on the clock, so we'll give her 2.
It was her first points of the game.
Well, they have only 8 in this quarter, and it was 20 at halftime, so one of those 3-pointers was not a 3-pointer. So, but still, she's the only one who's been scoring for them. Glenn, will this bring them out of that zone then? Are they going to, would you come out of it, go man-to-man?
Yeah, traditionally, you can get those perimeter shots against a 2-3 zone. Maybe Mason will have to go to man-to-man to try to shut down this Mount Notre Dame run led by Stanley.
Mount Notre Dame, that veteran staff for Scott Rogers, Grayson Pittsey's been with him for years, Sonny Tudor, Michelle Jones, of course, she's a JV coach and varsity assistant. She was on those great teams back in the early 2000s that won 4 straight championships in a row. Parrish going coast to coast, does not go. Oldacre and Bradford.
I think just about every Mason fan is on their feet right now, wanting a foul, an intentional foul called on Bransford.
They're going to call it on Oldacre. The two of them are talking right now. Oh, a little bumping down there.
Fuse has been lit. Very physical. Oldacre with an
elbow
elbow in Bransford's face, essentially.
This could go on for the next 4 years, too.
Yeah.
The ACC. Now, Broughton got in with a reach-in foul, and still no call. Oh, nice little give and go. Knocked out of bounds by Bradford. Did she foul, though?
Excellent effort there by Bransford.
She did. KJ picks up her second. That's a team's fourth. That puts Amanda Barnes at the line. She's only a 43% foul shooter. Misses the first one. She got 3 fouls in that first half. Has not had a foul in this quarter so far. Misses them both.
Wow. The door's open for the Cougars. Can they take advantage to get this lead back down to a reasonable 2 or 3?
Neither team is a particularly hot shooting three-point team. They're both down 29%. But they can score when they can out there. And shown that. Knocked out of bounds, or knocked away there by Resnick.
Stanley in the right place at the right time to save that Cougars possession.
Joy Resnick's been a little spark plug out there on defense tonight. There's a three-pointer off the rim. Battle. Parrish gets it. Goes the other direction. Off the rim. Put back up by Barnes and blocked. This time it's KK Bradford and blocked by Oldacre. And man. Tempers are getting a little hot down there, Glenn, right now as we come to the end of the third quarter with the Cougars down by 5.
Mason just with 6 points in that quarter. Cougars with 8, though. They're going to have to do a little better than that down the stretch here. They want to maintain this 98-game winning streak, making it, 99, right?
Well, you know, they got lucky back in the beginning, back during the season. They actually did lose to Princeton in their regular season game against the Vikings, but the Vikings had technical difficulties with a ineligible player, JV player using too many quarters, and they had to end up forfeiting the game. Whereas Mount Notre Dame came back and beat them last week.
And that wasn't a close game. Princeton had walloped the Cougars in that game. Incidentally, Scott Rogers missed an illness.
Well, the last time the Cougars lost a postseason game was to Mason. 2018, as we said, on March the 7th. Mason beat them, and Mason went on to the state semifinals. Comets are 1 quarter away now, 5-point lead. This might be a very interesting quarter. We've already had 2 teams punch their ticket to the Final Four. Massillon and Jackson won 38-34 with Cleveland St. Joseph's Academy, and White House, Anthony Wayne won over Cleveland Start, and we have a possession call. And I tell you, these possession calls are getting kind of vicious out there.
They are.
Anthony Wayne also won, so both those 2 teams have punched their ticket. Dublin Kaufman and Reynoldsburg are the other game being played tonight. See who the other team will be. The winner of this game will be playing Massillon Jackson next week, next Friday at Dayton, state semifinals. Bradford back to lacrosse. Brought out to Stanley. Stanley's been the hot shooter.
Mason sticking with that 2-3.
Lacrosse. Off the rim, battle underneath. Oldacre gets the ball. Out to Parrish.
Boy, Oldacre to
Parrish
Parrish.
slow it up and loses it out of bounds. I don't know, Glenn, what she was doing. Was she trying to slow it up, I guess? Or?
I'm not really sure. There was a defender in her face. Maybe she was trying to cut the other way, spin around perhaps, but turnover, and she clipped my thought. I was just going to say, how many times have we seen that Oldacre to Parrish breakaway? It didn't work that time.
I think the question right now is, when will we see Keisha Francisco come back in the ballgame? She has 4 fouls.
I would say we're getting close to that point. Cougars
KK
got the lead down to 5.
Back to KK. KK turnaround blocked by Oldacre, but she fouls.
That's only her second, though.
Oldacre picks up her 3rd foul. That's going to put Bradford at the line. Mr. Only foul shot tonight, only has 4 points and misses that one. Wow.
2 foul shots in a row she's missed, right? Sorry, we couldn't hear you. I think you said that, right? That she'd missed her only other attempt.
Right, she's missed 1. Got that one. 5 points now for Bradford. 4-point lead for the Comets. And that ball is taken away, and Oldacre takes a tumble on the floor. Stanley.
Got physical on Oldacre.
Back out to Stanley into Bradford. There's a tie up here, possession call.
What a game.
And it's going to go back down to Comets right now. They do not have a possession arrow over on the bench. It's kind of unusual here at Dakota West.
Yeah, they keep it up on the scoreboard, but it's very hard to see. It's very small.
Yeah.
And no horn either for the end of the quarter.
Yeah. You used to see the arrow on the bench, though.
Right. No, I agree.
Redzig. Nice ball movement by the Comets. Could not make it drop. KK Bradford takes the ball. And that is taken away by Oldacre.
She knew right where that was going. Scott Rogers about to lose his mind on the bench.
Foul is on Brittany Campbell. That's her first. She's been doing a great job on defense. That's a 5th foul now on Mount Notre Dame.
Scott Rogers could not believe that was a foul call.
Oldacre knocked out of bounds by Campbell. .6:15 to go.
Rob Matula very animated in front of his bench. Oldacre in trouble. Able to.
Boy, I think Mount Dairy like to have her out that deep. And basket is good by Perry. The drive. 6-point. Maddie Perry. She's fouled. Campbell picks up her 2nd foul. That's 6 now on Mount Notre Dame. 6 fouls for Mount Notre Dame, 1 for Mason.
Crystal Lacrosse back into the game for the Cougars.
Perry, 70% foul shooter. First time at the line tonight. Off the rim, no good.
Pretty critical possession here for the Cougars. Lots of basketball left, but they'd really like to get this deficit down to 3.
Harrison. Broughton underneath, too hard off the backboard. And there's going to be a foul on Mason. And they're going to call it on
Oldacre now with 3, Bill. Rob Matula very animated in his response to that foul call.
Kayla Oldacre picks up her 3rd foul. I thought she had 3, but score clock just says 3. Broughton, low high arc. Misses that one. She's
Typically
a 45%
those high arcing
foul
shots
shooter.
don't perform well.
Yeah. Just the opposite from Oldacre, which is line drive. Well,
got that one.
1 for 2. Campbell back in the ball game. Cross takes a seat on the bench. Mason right now, they have their starters in the ball game. Matty Parrish being hounded, double team. And are they going to call it on Parrish? They do. Offensive foul on Parrish. That's Matty Parrish, third foul. I'm sorry, that Brittany Campbell. Look down there. I thought you said 2-0. I put Parrish on the line. This only foul shot of the evening. Got that one. Every point's critical at this stage of the game with 5:31 to go.
Needs to grow this deficit back to 7 for Mount Notre Dame.
Mount Notre Dame only held the lead one time in this game. That was early in the first quarter, but since that time, Mason has led the game. And there's Francisco with the 3. And she, of course, obviously back in the ball game. We have seen her get hot, Glenn.
They sure did last week. Points. This is doable for the Cougars. See how the Comets can answer. The turnover's not what they needed.
Nope. Cougars trying to win their 99th game in a row. Last time they lost was back 2019 against Centerville, regular season. The last time they lost in a tournament was against Mason. Oldacre with the block on Harrison.
Well, I'll tell you, you can look at this deficit and blame it all on Kyla Oldacre. She has just blocked so many shots.
That was a wild one off the backboard. And I thought KK might have been injured out there, but I think she just stopped here. Foul was on Joy Rezick. That's her first. It's only the third for Mason. KK. Scoop shot off the rim. KK doesn't get it. Goes back up. No good.
Kyla Oldacre. That's all you got to say.
Right. And Matty Parrish the other direction. Parrish has 6 in this quarter. 10 for the game. Back to a 6-point lead now for the Comets. KK Bradford kicks it back out to Stanley. Bradford now.
I don't think Mason's come out of this 2-3 all night.
No. Even with the hot 3-point shooting Stanley's had.
Whoa, that should have been a foul on Parrish.
There's KK Bradford. She's got the man.
Parrish just grabbed Rotten by the neck and threw her down. Nothing from the official. Holy cow.
7-point lead now. Or a 4-point lead, I'm sorry. Approaching the 3-minute mark in the game. Mason playing very deliberate now. Clock's on their side. Gonna play for that good shot. Oldacre, there's a good shot right there. 0-20 now with 21.
Pretty automatic.
Francisco 3-pointer. Offensive rebound put up and in by KK Bradford.
Wow.
Barnes picks up her fourth foul.
Timeout.
Now Notre Dame calls a timeout right now. It's hard to say this, Glenn. We're in the fourth quarter and 2:23 to go, and KK is trying to get the double digits for the first time tonight on her foul shot.
Well, as we've talked about a couple times, her shots around the rim and the paint have been denied by Oldacre pretty much the entire game. She's
Mount Notre Dame
we've seen put up a lot of shots from the perimeter, so beating her underneath just not working so far.
If Mount Notre Dame loses tonight, they still have one win streak still going. They have won 71 regular season games. That's only one off from Huron's 72. So even if the 98 goes down to Graining, they'll still have a chance to take the get on top of the state regular season games starting next season. And as we said before, this team doesn't rebuild, they just reload.
Right.
Both programs, very successful programs. I mean, Robin Toole has done a great job over Mason over the years. Several league championships in the GMC and then in the old FABC. Meanwhile, KK now trying to get the double figures. 1 for 3 from the line. Takes some time, puts it up, in. Three-point lead. Foul on lacrosse. Third. That's 8th on Mount Notre Dame. That puts Rexy at the line. She's a 56% foul shooter.
Francisco back on the floor for the Cougars. She's standing near midcourt on the bottom of the screen next time you see her.
Broughton with a great possession call. It's going to go to Mount Notre Dame. How about Broughton coming off with that offense, with that rebound and keeping it alive?
Mount Notre Dame's able to retake a lead. I think we're going to be able to say that's going to be a pretty pivotal moment in this game.
They're down 3. Approaching the 2-minute mark. KK Bradford, and Bradford got, looks like, poked in the face here. And a call on Oldacre. That is 4 for her. That was a late call, Glenn.
Bransford walked away from that, having taken an elbow in the face, or in the jaw, I should say, and I wonder if that's what led to that late call.
Not a shooting foul. They only have 5 fouls. They got 1 to spare. Under 2 minutes to go in regulation.
Stanley now down in the corner, running back and forth across the baseline to each corner.
The lacrosse three-pointer. Got it! And we are tied at 41 all.
Crystal Lacrosse with another game-changing moment, Phil.
Stanley with the steal.
She's not going to go up against Oldacre. She'll reset that offense. Probably a wise move.
1:30 to go. It is tied at 41. Mount Notre Dame down by 9 has come all the way back.
Mount Notre Dame trying to whittle away some clock here. It's not quite the old Dean Smith four-corner offense, but it's close enough. They want to keep this ball out of Mason's hands.
They seriously might play for 1 if they don't not get it.
Yeah.
Francisco back out to KK. Now KK getting hounded by Redzik.
Timeout taken by Scott Rogers.
Scott Rogers going to call timeout. Talk this over. 56.1 seconds to go.
You're going to see Lacrosse's three-pointer on your screen. Just when we thought we had our pivotal moment in the game. Lacrosse changes the narrative and makes one of her own.
I think you can easily say right now, Glenn, this could come down to whoever has the ball last.
Oh, I think so, Bill, for sure. I really think that's what Mason was hoping to do there before Bransford got in trouble. It looked like she was getting in trouble. Scott Rogers had to call that timeout. I really think they were going to try to pass the ball around for the last shot. That's how confident they are in their shooting.
Mason starters are in the game. Mason has only 5 fouls, so they got 1 to spare before Mount Notre Dame goes to the line. And
Mason, look, Mason comes out of the zone to this inbounds play. Obviously, are they going to fall back into it or stick with man? They're going to put some pressure on KK.
Well, that's the person Mount Notre Dame once they have the ball in their hands is KK. Although Stanley's been doing a great job tonight too. Under 40 seconds to go. KK into Stanley.
This is why you practice that 3-man weave in practice.
KK Stanley driving. Puts it up. No good. Up again. And Olaker gets the ball out to Parrish. Parrish back the other direction. Parrish. Ball is in with 15 seconds to go. Maddie Parrish, 8 points in this quarter. 3-point attempt by Francisco off the rim. Lacrosse. And the Mason Comets are moving on to the state Final Four as they pulled a big upset over Mount Notre Dame 43-41 to win the regional final. Mount Notre Dame was playing for that last shot there. They wanted to get it in there, but as she has done all game, when Kayla Olaker comes up big on the defensive side, and Manny Parrish takes advantage of it.
What a fantastic game. Mount Notre Dame actually outscored the Comets 13-10, but the Comets hang on and end. I think it's an understatement to call a long winning streak, right? Oh, what an amazing game.
Absolutely. So the Mason Comets are heading back to the state Final Four for the first time since 2018. They will play next Friday at UD Arena. They'll be playing Massillon Jackson in the state semifinal. So some thoughts on this game, Glenn. We could have a lot of thoughts here for several minutes.
Yeah, well, it came down to Kyla Oldacre. KK Bransford never really found her groove against the 6'6" Oldacre in the paint. She's leading the celebration for the Comets in the student section. Mount Notre Dame has to sit and watch another team celebrate, which is not something they're used to doing.
Absolutely
the student
not.
section is flooded onto the floor and celebrated their victorious Comets. Mason had momentum this entire game, Bill. Mount Notre Dame made a valiant effort late in the game, but Mason just really held on to momentum the entire game.
Kayla Olaker ends up with 21 points. KK Bransford closes out her high school career with 10 points in this game. Of course, both of those young ladies will be meeting each other on the college floor here in the next 4 years. And of course, Scott Rogers still have another Bransford coming up, and Kaylee Bransford.
Yeah, and back to Kayla and KK. One at Miami, one at Notre Dame, and it was not friendly out there between those two today. It was very physical. I'm curious to watch the next several years in women's ACC basketball to see if the bad blood subsides.
Mason, the last 5 games, held the edge 3-2 over Mount Notre Dame. Now it's 4-2. We'd like to thank Scott Kaufman, athletic director here at West, for hosting us. Also Gary Brockman, our site manager down here. Gary's my old NASCAR Fantasy League colleague down here. And Josh Semstroff. Josh did a great job, obviously, in the truck. Our volunteers, our camera ladies right next to us, doing a great job out here tonight. It's been great. Glenn, this could be it for us for basketball this year, so next time we might be talking to you might football Booth, but your final thoughts here in this game this season, really.
Just, you think about the teams in the Cincinnati area that could end the Mount Notre Dame streak. Mason comes to mind, Dakota West comes to mind. Princeton nearly did it, but all the credit in the world to Rob Matula, his coaches, and of course those players. They just played an excellent physical basketball game and did not get bullied by the Cougars. They bullied their way to a berth in the state tournament.
Appropriately, the Kayla Oldacre holding on to that regional trophy there. We enjoy bringing you ICRC basketball here. Like I said, this might be our swan song for the season. Thanks to our entire crew throughout the season. It's been great bringing you basketball here. So we still got spring sports coming up. We got a lot of spring sports coming up here on ICRC-TV. Your final from Lakota West High School tonight. The Comets move on 26-2, 43-41 over the Mount Notre Dame Cougars. Good luck to Mason in the Final Four next week for Glenn Olson and the entire crew. This is Bill Brett saying goodbye.